but does it do you too? Scotty back at you, and by now you've heard the big news of the week of the NFL season. The letters OBJ to LA. OBJ to LA. And I tell you what, I'm not shocked. Okay? Now, the experts at it again the last couple of days, reporting hour after hour. The experts. OBJ has narrowed down his choices. The finalists are New England, Green Bay, and KC. Seattle's on the outside. The experts, see, always at it with that expert information that is most usually wrong again. And I said, okay, I hear you experts, but I'm thinking, doesn't LA make sense in a lot of ways? Now, I know there's been a lot of moves already. A lot has happened, the numbers and everything. So you never know the particulars. And you got the inside guys who keep reporting. It's down to Green Bay, New England, and KC with Seattle on the outside. And I'm thinking, okay, but I wouldn't be surprised. And when the news came, I wasn't shocked. I was pleased. I was not surprised. Why? Well, I knew OBJ wasn't going to Green Bay or New England. Think about it. Why would he? Think about it. This is the first time in his career that Beckham gets to, in essence, choose where he wants to play, where he wants to ply his trade. And with the option of 32 NFL teams, cities, why would he choose Green Bay and New England? Let's start there. Green Bay. Why would Odell Beckham, with all the options in the world at his disposal, a young NFL star, looking to rebuild the career, looking to reascend to the heights, looking to also market his brand, why would a player of that caliber choose to play in Wisconsin? To play on a field that even the locals, the natives, call the frozen tundra. Really? Is that where you really want to go? And you want to go and play with Aaron, the smarmy, smug, COVID-carrying, woke mob victim? That's what you want to do? In that dysfunction? And catch a COVID case? No! It makes no sense. New England. Why would Beckham want to go to Boston? Huh? To play with Belichick? Can you imagine this blonde, pink-haired, free-spirited, wild-dressing individual going to try to blend in with Belichick and the Patriots in Boston? Does that feel like a fit to you? Doesn't to me. I never thought that was going to be. And Randy Moss was like, well, I did it. Yeah, okay. Odell Beckham wants the big city, big lights. He wants to be himself. He wants to be able to, be a free spirit, march to his own drum, live the big life. Can't do that with Belichick and the Pats. You kidding? That freezing, cold weather, outdoor. He's been in New York in the winter. He's been in Cleveland in the winter. Don't you think he probably wants to get away from the winter? I would. That's one of the reasons I'm in sunny Southern California. The weather, the best weather in the United States, unless you count Hawaii. Okay? That's just all part of it. KC, all that chopping they do out there in the cold, Midwest kind of flyover country. And that's an aside. And I'm going to do a video about that also. The Braves and KC Chiefs and all of these Native American mocking, chopping, sing-songy, chanting individuals and crowds. It's despicable. You need to stop it. Washington, you did the right thing, changing the name of the team. Cleveland Indians, formerly, you did the right thing, changing the name of that team. But I digress. LA checks all the boxes, folks. Big, beautiful city. Maybe the best city in the country. Best weather in the country. Perhaps. Okay? One of the best teams in the NFL, perhaps the best head coach in the NFL, perhaps the best culture for players in the NFL, a team that's built to win now, a team that wants to win right now, a team loaded with stars. Where else would he want to be but the LA Rams? So I saw it coming, even though the experts kept hollering Green Bay and New England. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. So, what are the pros and cons of this big move? Well, I mean, the pros are obvious. The guy is an extraordinary receiver. He has the ability to alter the game plan for the opposing defense. He can actually strike fear into secondaries. And when you match him up with Cooper Kupp, who's setting records, with Bobby Trees, who's just steady like a metronome, reliable, doesn't drop balls. Van Jefferson's up and coming. You got an extraordinary wide receiver room. Look at these four guys, and that doesn't even count Higbee, your tight end. Look at the receivers you got. You know McVay can scheme. Well, I feel like he's been a little lackadaisical in the scheming so far this year. So I'm hoping that now he really is going to get in the lab and get it cooking and go to work. Let's go, McGenius. What are the cons? Well, my only real question, and I've referenced this in a previous video. I'll link the video in the description. My only real concern is chemistry. The chemistry. Because remember now, you had a pretty exceptional wide receiver room to start the season. You've got Kupp and Woods. You've got Jefferson and Deshaun Jackson. That's a pretty exceptional wide receiver room. And there was turmoil. Deshaun Jackson wasn't happy. Bobby Trees got a little perturbed. There was too much Cooper Kupp and not, to the detriment of the other wideouts. There were meetings. Bobby Trees had a meeting with McVay. D-Jax had a meeting with McVay. Van Jefferson's young. He's not trying to take meetings. He's just glad to be there. And Cooper Kupp's setting records, so I'm sure he's fine. But that chemistry in the wideout room was an issue to the extent that Deshaun Jackson is gone, released. And if chemistry was an issue with the initial four wideouts, now you replace Deshaun Jackson with OBJ. Seems like there could possibly be chemistry issues on the horizon there. Are you going to be able to distribute the balls Matthew Stafford? Are you going to be able to scheme up balance, Sean McVay? And again, with all these receivers, you still need to focus on the run game. McGenius. But what I hope is that maybe Odell Beckham Jr. will be the exorcist to go into the palace at SoFi and cleanse out that evil poltergeist spirit of Matt from Detroit once and for all. That's what I'm hoping for. That OBJ can come in with the black hat covering the blonde highlights and the black suit and the collar and and exorcise those Matt from Detroit demons out of the palace in Inglewood. SoFi Stadium. I tell you one thing, I can't wait for Monday night. Scotty says, if you haven't already, subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Till then, one love, my folks.